You can help support and promote the show by purchasing our merchandise at cafepress.com/Packard Pokes At, where you can choose from a variety of different items like hoodies, hats, and bears. Oh my! Put a Packard Pokes At mug in your hands today.
Do you like Packard Pokes At and want to hear it on demand and on the go? Download the free app today at Stitcher.com. Available on iOS, Android, Nook, and iPad.
You're on in 3, 2, 1.
This is Packard Pokes At, and I'm poking at your news. Good evening, everyone. Welcome to another fine edition of Packard Pokes At. I am your immutable and unmutable host, Packard Sonic. And joining us tonight from the far East Coast is Joe Unseen.
We are the Misfits. Our songs are better. We are the Misfits. And we're gonna get her.
I have no idea where that's from.
It's from Gem.
Okay.
It's been all over Facebook lately that they're making a Gem movie.
Are they now? Ah, cool. And joining us from the far East Coast also, and just a little bit south, is Crystal Says So.
Whatever it is, I did it.
No, I'm quite certain either I did or my daughter did or the computer did. So it's one of the three.
Oh, no. It's me.
Anyway, we got some nice, good stories for you tonight, and this is episode 157, by the way. So I can't believe we've done so many of these. Can you guys believe that? Jeez.
I know.
It's like we've been doing this like for 157 shows.
It seems like just yesterday that we were doing 156.
I know. It seems like just like last week or something, wasn't it?
Yeah.
All right, well, let's get on for our first story for this evening.
Building a better future, science and technology.
Everybody in the frickin' world is on Facebook. Well, maybe not everybody, but sometimes people have multiple accounts on there too. The one thing about Facebook is who would do that? But
not me.
I'm not one of those people.
No, nobody would do that. Anyway, there's a lot of people on Facebook, and then when Facebook goes and makes changes, and then they don't tell anybody that's made all these changes, and then people go, hey, why is all this important information on there that I set privately all of a sudden now public? Now everybody knows what my wing wang looks like or what my breasts look like because I had that set for private for everybody, for my special friends, and not for everybody. Now Facebook is again making another change, but this time they claim that it's not going to be set as a default on, and what that is will be a friend tracking application which will be available on your smart device. So this way you can set it so everybody will know where you are, and if you're moving around and or whatever. Even if the application is not running, it'll still be running in the background, and it'll show where you're at. The key here is that your friends also have this friend tracking thing turned on with them, and them with you, and you with them, or whatever. And then you can set it as far down. You can set it for like your neighborhood or right where you're frickin' standing. And to me, that's helpful, but it terrifies me to no end because there's so many ways that this could go possibly wrong, like ex-lover or a ex-wife or ex-husband is tracking you, stalking you.
Or current lover or current wife.
Or current spouse could be tracking you. It's like, where's so-and-so going today? And, he said he's going to the grocery store. Why is he over at the liquor store? Or why is he over at my friend's house? Why is he over there, not me? I don't know. Joe, your thoughts?
Yeah, this is nothing new. iPhones have the Find Friends app, and there's been other mobile phone companies that have tried to market something like this, like as a feature on the phone, like, hey, guess what? You know where all your friends are.
Yep.
But the thing with this stuff is like when people see that, they're like, why would I want everybody knowing where I am?
Right.
You know, I mean, I've seen people on Facebook talking about this, and it doesn't seem like there's a demand for it. It seems the opposite. People, like, you know, I mean, it's just my observation. This isn't like, you know, I didn't take a poll or anything, but it seems I haven't seen anyone going like, ooh, this is so cool. I can't wait till they implement this. I've seen people saying things like, this is ridiculous. Mark Zuckerberg's an asshole. Why is he doing this?
Mm-hmm.
And it's and Facebook is trying to market it like now if you're in a park and your friend is in the park, you can actually meet each other face to face instead of commenting on each other's threads.
Right.
And it's like, if you want to meet your friend in a park, you call them or you send them a text. And you're like, oh, you're in the park too? Like, all right.
Yeah.
You wanna meet at the fountain?
Yeah, I can see one point of that. I can see it's like, hey, I know all these people. Hey, there they are. They're walking the park. Hey, how you doing? Do I know you? Yeah, I'm your friend on Facebook. Right. Yeah, I don't like you. Why are you following me then for? I don't know, just because you make some funny posts. But overall, I just don't fucking like you.
Right. And I'm not going to sign up for this. I'm not going to activate it on either of my Facebook accounts, and I didn't really use the Find Friends on the iPhone either, but I am an avid Foursquare check-in person because I like getting the points. Once they make it a game, ooh, I'm getting points, ooh, I'm winning, then it's cool. But just for someone to spy on me, no.
Yeah, that's all it is. That's all it is. Crystal, your thoughts?
Well, it's almost kind of, I feel like they're cutting off their nose to spite their face here.
Mm-hmm.
He's pushing meeting face to face, which is totally against what Facebook is right now. I'm like Joe, I don't think that this is going to get a whole lot of whoop-de-doo about it. The one thing I will give him credit for is it is a by default, which Facebook is infamous for not doing that. So I'll give Zuckerberg credit for doing that much. At least it is a default thing. But as a female, especially, I think that this is not a really great thing. Let's say I had it on and really was unaware of it, which would be something typical of me, just to have no clue what was turned on, and somebody's just able to actually locate me, and I don't like that idea.
Yeah, no, I understand.
I don't at all.
Yeah, it's a great tool for stalkers, especially if someone wants to pretend like they're your best friend or whatever, and you don't realize that. Oh, hey, I didn't realize they were on Facebook, and boom, there you go. Connie in the chat. I was just gonna say, Connie in the chat room just asked, what about if there's other information going, data gathering technology? They do keep all your history of all the places you've gone, and wherever you are, but you do have the option to erase it, even if you don't realize that they're keeping all this information. They track everywhere you go and where they've gone.
Right. Even if that option is off, even if Facebook is off, it tracks everything and banks it, and that is just scary.
Yes,
it really is. It's just scary, and I mean, I do worry that it's going to be a little bit easier maybe for people to hack because they can get a little bit more information. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not for it. I think this is a bad idea. I know they bought a company, and I don't know why he thought this was going to be a great thing, but I'm like Joe. I don't believe this is going to be a big deal. If I want to meet Joe and go to the movies, I'm going to call Joe and say, let's go to the movies.
Right. Dr. Straight in the chat room says, as a stalker, I think this is the greatest invention since binoculars. I love our chat room chatters.
So see, now they'll quit just sending penis pictures through private message, and now they're going to stalk us instead. Come on.
And then they'll say, hey, want to see this? Zip. See? There it is.
I want to show you things you've never seen before.
Yeah.
Bad idea.
It is a bad idea. And speaking of bad ideas, let's get on to our next topic for this evening.
It's the Onion Radio News.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it's not.
Yes, it is.
No, it isn't.
If you're into going around the world and you go to different restaurants and you want to try something a little bit more unusual, well, Taiwan is just the place you want to go, because they've got a restaurant there is a sex-themed restaurant. They have gigantic penises out in the lobby. The food that they serve you is shaped like vaginas and penises and things like that. They actually have a penis pudding on the menu, and they have little toy erotica around there. You can even get an apron and put it on. It has like a woman's breasts on there hanging out or whatever. And they have even blow-up dolls that you can rent or borrow, I guess. I don't know. You can have their sit there with company with you, or if you're just lonely, just have
this place.
Right. Come on, honey, let's go to the sex themed restaurant. We'll have a threesome with the sex doll.
I'm not gonna be caught dead in there. All right.
Joe, your thoughts?
Ooh, Taiwan.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, this looks like an interesting restaurant. If this opened somewhere near me, I might go check it out. Just to check it out. Especially if the food was good or the bartender gave buybacks. But yeah, towards the end of there's a video attached to this article.
Yep.
That shows people actually in the restaurant, and they're interacting. They're posing with pictures with the blow-up dolls, and there's big penis statues, and they're posing with the penis statues, and they're just having fun.
Yeah.
But towards the end of the video, they showed a wall of they called them sex statues or whatever, and I immediately recognized what they were. They're not sex statues. They're little wind-up toys.
Yeah.
That commit sex acts.
Oh yeah. And they're like a little threesome, and on one, and there's two of them,
exactly.
one giving head.
Right, exactly.
And in the bathroom, they've got look like breasts on the thing there. You squeeze the nipple, and you get soap out of it.
Yes, that I mean, they'd have to put a sign on that said "Do not drink the soap." But,
and don't try this at home because you're not going to get soap out of those at home.
Yeah, for bathroom use only.
Bathroom use only.
But the wall of wind-up sex toys, or sex statues that they call them, I actually own one of those.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I was down in New York City one time, and I was with a few friends, and we were bar hopping, and we stopped into a head shop, and we were just looking at stuff, and they sold a few of those things, and they were funny. We picked them up But then I saw up on a high shelf there was one. I was like, oh, I gotta have that one. Mm-hmm. So I asked the guy, I was like, I want that, and the guy, this Indian guy or whatever behind the counter, he's like, oh, you don't want that, and I'm like, what are you talking about? Of course I want it. He's like, you don't want that. I'm like, of course I do. I want it. And so I bought it. It's the little plastic man with the big red penis fucking a pig.
Oh my god!
And for the longest time it was a novelty item. Every now and then I'd pull it out and show my friends, like, hey, have you ever seen this? But I've had it for so long now, it's not novelty anymore. I'd be like, hey, have you seen this? Yes, you have a wind-up man that fucks a pig, Joe. Thank you. I've seen it. Actually, let me see that. So I don't know what I'm gonna do with it anymore. All my friends have seen it. Maybe I should mail it to Connie. She could probably get some traction out of that.
There you go, Crystal.
Shout out for Connie.
There you go, Crystal. Your thoughts?
This is just gross. Okay, the first thing I thought about was do they put pubic hair on those balls? I mean, I know that's exactly what I was looking at, because I'm gaggy anyway, so I'm sitting there how does? And then they're translating the clip that Joe was speaking of, and she's eating what looks like a big chocolate penis, and she goes, "Oh, it's ice cream!" And she's got both of the quote balls on the spoon, and it's sticking in her mouth, and I just couldn't help but just laugh this whole time. Joe said it looks like, I mean, they were probably early 20s, looked like they were just having a ball in that place, and it's probably fun. Nipple dispensers in the bathroom for the men. What is in the bathroom for the women? Now think about it.
Oh yeah.
And what do we have to do to get the lotion out?
I actually know a joke that goes like that, but.
But ironically, Connie is such a good finder of all kinds of information, and she sent a link for us too that I guess you could post on the Packard Pokes At website. But this is far from the first sex-themed restaurant. There's a lot of them.
Oh yeah.
And she listed one that was in Greece that's real famous. And
really?
Actually, yeah, she's got the link in our private chat.
Okay.
So we can transfer it over to the
website.
And she's sent a list of, just as a side note, the most unusual restaurants in the world. And you could find a restaurant for any theme that you like. If you like the sex, you can find it. If you like sci-fi, they've got that in Florida, Titanic, dinner thing. So there's lots of places. This here novelty, I guess they probably do great business with the younger crowd.
Mm-hmm. So what you're saying
is
laugh
the entire time.
Connie knows where all the sex-themed restaurants are.
You have to see this. This
is why she has so many kids. I'm just kidding, Connie. Just kidding. I'm just kidding, Connie.
This was really interesting. I want you guys to see it because if you can even in your wildest imagination pick a theme, there is a restaurant somewhere around the world that is on there. It's an extensive list. But yeah, there's even a place for them to tie you up on a big wood penis.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Dawkins Dog in the chat room says Titanic restaurant where the iceberg lettuce is fatal. No, iceberg lettuce! Ah!
They import authentic iceberg ice cubes from the
That's
Arctic.
right. Do y'all know what I found that was the funniest in this article, though? Was the posters that they had that talk about the average size of penises and breasts around the world.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I saw that. They had the picture on there. All these different sized breasts were on the wall.
Right, and so there's saggy boobs, and then there's little perky boobs, and there's huge boobs, and I didn't see any penises, and I'm glad I didn't see any penises, but they said on the menus and the place things that it does have that on there.
Right.
And the average size of penises. So like now I want to know who's got the biggest penis in the world. I was searching. I couldn't find it.
Great.
I know. Did you notice the sex doll the guy had?
Yeah, that was funny. He's like, "Hey, that guy is having an affair with somebody else." Like, oh, wait a minute, no, that's just a sex doll. And his has in his lap, and his the sex doll's giving him a ride or something.
That's right. It was like she was giving him a lap dance.
Yeah.
In a boot. But did you notice that she had on crotchless panties?
Yeah, I saw that too. Well, the doll isn't going to take him off itself, so you got to have crotchless panties on there.
Well, yeah, got to have easy access with that bitch. I mean, she's
right.
a little stiff, you know.
She's a little stiff. You know the thing about blow-up dolls, they always have that same expression, like they just saw something really exciting, like, oh!
It reminds me of the sex dolls that we talked about a few shows back.
Yeah.
I was actually trying to think, which restaurant would I rather go to? This sex-themed restaurant in Taiwan, or to the place with the robot strippers?
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good
Russia.
question.
And I would rather go see robot strippers.
I think I would too.
I'm going to vote for robot strippers, yeah.
Yeah, I'm all for robot strippers, actually. So, just because there's movement there. You know, I can see, you can see boobs and penises and vaginas everywhere.
And the robot strippers can transform into cool things like motorcycles and helicopters.
Yeah, you get the sexy stripper turns like, and then you got a motorcycle. And then
strippers transform and disrobe.
No, it's disrobe and transform.
Right.
Yeah, but I want to see them give you the sexy bedroom eyes. I mean, I wonder how that works with a robot.
It's just the one eye, but
with
that's another story.
That's a whole other story. Speaking of
robot strippers, it's not about the bedroom eyes. It's about the clankety clank.
That's right. It's a clankety clanky clank. Anyway, speaking of clankety clank, we've got some very important clankety clanks for you to listen to, and we'll be back in just a few moments to ruin the rest of the show for you.
You should contact us by email at ppapodcast or packardpokesat@gmail.com, and follow the show on Twitter as @packardpokesat, and like us on Facebook at facebook.com/packardpokesat, or just type Packard Pokesat into the Facebook search bar. Call our Google Voice at 662-709-PPAP or 662-709-7727, and leave a short message and we will play it on the show. Join in the show live Friday nights at 9 p.m. Central Time at vaughnlive.tv/PackardPokesat. Download and rate us on iTunes, Stitcher Radio, Mixler Radio, and watch the show on YouTube. Visit our show page at packardpokesat.wordpress.com for links to the stories, and purchase merchandise from cafepress.com/packardpokesat to support the show. For everyone that rates us, you are awesome sauce.
Well, hello there. I'm Packard Sonic. I would like to take a moment to ask you to consider taking this and donate it once a month to my show, Packard Pokes At. To do this, just go to patreon.com/PackardPokesAt and subscribe. That's only $0.25 a show. What else can you get for $0.25 these days and get so much entertainment? In fact, the first 5 people a month that donate $50 will get a hat of your choice from cafepress.com. With a donation of $100 or more, you get a t-shirt and a hat of your choice. However, if you're feeling really generous and want to support the show and wish to donate $200, you get not only your choice of a Packard Pokes At hoodie, but a t-shirt and a hat of your choice. Even if you decide to donate just one of these a month, every little bit helps. Thank you for watching. And thank you, Joe Jam. You did a good job on that commercial there.
Well,
yeah,
thank
but you forgot about the crotchless panties.
Yeah, you forgot to mention the crotchless panties in that, though.
Yeah.
You get one point taken off.
If you really need female underwear, you can get Packard Pokes At thongs from
Yes.
the Cafe Press store. They are available there.
Yes, you can. I don't
I've
know
been
about
saving up
crotchless
for
one,
mine.
but you can get Packard Pokes At thong at the Packard Pokes At store, though.
If
Right.
you
Well-
sent one to Joe and I didn't get one yet, I'm gonna be really pissed.
You don't need a crotchless one because you got to have the Packard Pokes At logo on it, and it's just a thong. I mean,
Right.
if you really need it, you could just slide it to the side.
It's right.
You've been practicing.
Anyway, all right. Well, let's get on to our next topic for this evening.
I pay the fool. Pay the fool.
And tonight's wrapping up our month-long Fools for the month of April. This week, we're going to have the stupid proofs for God. People come up, you ask them, well, why do you believe in God? What is your proof that God exists? Well, I did some research on this. I asked people, what is your proof for God? And I tell them why that failed. And we're going to go over some of those tonight. I'm going to give a couple of them out here. A couple of these were like, because we have a universe of living creatures. Well, this is the argument from nature, basically. And life, same thing, argument from nature. Faith, that's just argument. That one. That one is just an argument from ignorance. I think I could be wrong on that one.
It's faith. Faith is as an excuse, as a proof. It's like faith isn't a proof. It's just like a dismissal of asking questions.
Right. No, that's a good point. That's a good point.
It's not an assertion. It's just like, well, I'm just going to shut down and say it's faith.
Right, exactly. And because otherwise the world doesn't make sense. That's another one that just
Well, that one's kind of convincing. No, I'm just kidding.
All right, we're going to start the timer. Although you can't see the words here on the screen, though, but I'll fix that. Joe, you go ahead. Oh no, Chris. I'm sorry, Chris. You go first.
No, we let Joe go first.
All right. Well, we had a list of some of these proofs, insane proofs, I guess they're called, or we're calling them.
Yes.
One of them was, how do you think rainbows get in the air? And that one was featured on the woman wrote it on a piece of paper and held it up after the Ken Ham Bill Nye debate. And did she write? Or was it sunsets? I don't know. Either way, it works.
Yeah.
Sunsets or rainbows. Like, how can you not believe in God after you look at a sunset or a rainbow? And the thing with those is sunsets and rainbows both have natural explanations. We know why they happen. Once upon a time, we didn't know why they happened, and we attributed them to supernatural means. They were either the God that people currently believe in, or they were gods that people no longer believe in. But they were always some kind of omen, or Apollo carrying the sun across the sky in his chariot, and when he reached the end of the earth, it became a sunset. And that right there is the argument from ignorance. People didn't know, and so they attributed it to something supernatural. And of course, it's not. Rainbows are caused when sunlight passes through raindrops or water vapor, and the sunset is caused by the rotation of the earth.
Right.
And so,
if rainbows are the proof of God, then every time I hold a prism and I shine light through it, I make a rainbow. Therefore, I'm God, because I can make a God. That makes me God. That makes you God right there.
Another one of the reasons was I feel God is real.
Oh yeah, I feel God's real.
Right, and that's one of those personal. It's called private evidence.
Right.
It's evidence that's only verifiable by me. It's not independently verifiable. Somebody else can't come along and be like, well, I can detect that, or I can prove scientifically that you feel this presence, and
Right.
because you feel it, therefore it's real.
Yeah, because they could also there's helmets people can put on, and they can make them feel like there's a god there. It's called the God helmet. Same thing.
Well, I mean, like, people feel emotions. A lot of people say like, oh, well, do you believe in love? Well, yeah. Well, love is a chemical reaction in the brain.
Mm-hmm.
Chemical reactions in the brain are emotions, and those are functions of the brain. And brain functions can be measured with science. You could put, like you said, a little helmet of receptors on. You could detect brain activity, and you could see that kind of stuff going on. Feeling that God is real, that's not the same as an emotion. That's like saying, I mean, you could say, I feel garden pixies are real.
Right.
I feel leprechauns are real. I feel unicorns are real. You know, it's more than just an emotion. You're claiming something objective, something that's real in the natural world, that affects the natural world, is real because you feel it, but yet you can't demonstrate that in any way.
Right. Karn3333 in the chat room says, how can you not believe in God after seeing Asian lesbian pornos?
There's some people that could answer that question.
Yeah, exactly. Crystal, Crystal, since you let Joe go first, what are some of the ones you've heard? And I'm sure a couple of you might be even used.
Oh, I was dreading this one just a bit.
Yeah, I know you were, but well, you know how
on,
these
on
things...
your soapbox on the street corners with pamphlets in your hand, Crystal.
That's right.
Be careful, or I'll bring the cross too. You got it? You know what? I have heard everything that you guys have said. It's a matter of like, I see God in a child's eyes.
Mm-hmm.
I see God, like you said, in the sunset, in the rainbows. How can you not look up in the skies and just say, we just like, bam, here we are?
Right.
I'm caught a bit because I love the science. I love the scientific area, and I love that whole explanation stuff. But at the same time, I am a believer.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that I use those excuses, arguments of ignorance. I think that my belief is subjective, just as pain is subjective.
Okay.
And I'm not going to ever be able to prove anything to you, nor do I have to.
Right.
That's just kind of the way that I face that. I don't know any other explanation, because if I say it's faith, then you've got the argument against that. I'm never going to be able to get God and bring him down here and say, yeah, here you go.
Oh, damn, then we better... Shit, that's just... Where is he? Come on, bring him down here. Bring him. Let's put him in front of everybody. We'll just ask him questions.
I realize that y'all think I have got such great powers, but I cannot manifest them but like once a year, and I've already used it earlier this year, so you're going to wait.
Right.
It's a hard argument. I fight with myself over this, Packard, because scientifically, yeah, I can see where you could say there's no God. But yet, what do I feel in my heart is that I still am a believer.
Yeah.
And I'm still quite firm in my faith. But I've heard it all, and I've laughed at some of the things. But, as people, I've seen miracles happen. That's one of the big ones, I think. I've seen the miracles. I call it a miracle. You might call it science. How do you know? I don't think anybody can win in this argument. It's still a subjective thing.
Yeah. Well, one of the arguments that I had when I was talking with somebody about this, they said the Big Bang is their proof of God, because you can't prove God didn't do it. I was like, well, I love that one. I tried to. I said, okay, I put it to him like this. I said, okay, if supposedly God did it, okay, I say that what caused the Big Bang was an alien brewing beer in his house, and then it still exploded, and that created the universe. He goes, well, yeah, that's plausible too, but God makes more sense. Well, why does God make more sense? Oh, and that's time. I had several other discussions on there. They were saying that you can't prove God doesn't exist. It's like, well, I wasn't trying to prove God doesn't exist. I was just asking what your proofs were. So anyway,
that's interesting, Packard. And I'm not trying to prolong the segment of it. Even though it kind of makes you get fluttering in your stomach when you're trying to explain this, because there really is no hardcore explanation for it, but it keeps you on your toes if you are a believer.
Yeah,
I've said 1,000 times I've learned so much more from you guys than I ever learned in my whole 29 years of life. So like if you can't answer those questions to some degree, or even to admit I don't know, then I think that you should be questioning what your faith is.
Exactly. No, I think people should be. I think more people should be questioning their faith, because
that's why Crystal is a card-carrying atheist.
That's right.
She's honorary atheist.
Honorary atheist.
Honorary atheist.
Joe signed the card, so I got to give him props.
Right.
She gets a parking spot at headquarters. She can use the cafeteria. She gets the discount.
Yep. And when she becomes a full-fledged atheist, then she gets the free toaster and the toaster oven.
I'm working on that, but Joe hadn't baked the brownies yet, so I'm not there.
You got to pick between the two toasters. There's one that burns Jesus into it, and there's the other one that burns the flying spaghetti monster into it.
Right. You only get one of the two, though.
I picked Jesus.
Oh, see, that's what's holding me back. I'm torn.
I picked the flying spaghetti monster. It's just more fun. The Jesus one. I tried the Jesus one before I took it back. These like the eyes kept staring at me every time I put the ketchup on it, back and forth. It was staring at me. So I just forget it.
I prefer Jesus on my toast because give us this day our daily bread.
What about Mother Teresa? I mean, she's pretty popular too.
No, that just rates the bread rotten then.
And Mary.
And Mary, yeah, that one makes it rotten too. Anyways, and we'll get on to our next topic for this evening.
Fly me to the moon, let me play among the stars. Let me see what spring is like on Jupiter and Mars.
And on tonight's Did You Know They're an Atheist? Tonight we're going to be featuring Jodie Foster. No, not the Foster's beer. Jodie Foster. She's been in a lot of movies. She's been in the movie Contact and a variety of different things. And one of the things that she says, one of her quotes comes from her, is right from the Georgia Strait interview with Jodie Foster by Dan McLeod, July 10th through the 17th, 1997, on page 43. Question: Where does Jodie Foster stand in the debate between science and faith? She says, I absolutely believe that Ellie believes that there is no direct evidence, so how could we ask me to believe in God when there's absolutely no evidence that I can see? I do believe in the beauty and the awe-inspiring mystery of science that's out there we haven't discovered yet, and that there are scientific explanations for phenomenon that we call mystical because we don't know any better. And another quote from her says, Jodie Foster's on the cover of this week's Entertainment Weekly, September 7th, 2007. In both written version, page 41, and the online version, she says the following. They ask her, are you religious? She says, no, I'm an atheist. But I absolutely love religions and the rituals. Even though I don't believe in God, we celebrate pretty much every religion in our family with the kids. They love it. And when they say, are we Jewish or are we Catholic? I say, well, I'm not, but you can choose when you're 18. But isn't it fun that we do Cedars and the Advent calendar? So right there she says that she's an atheist and she does not believe in God. Joe, your thoughts?
Yeah, one of my favorite Jodie Foster movies is the movie Contact, which is where some of these interview quotes are coming from the promotion of that movie. In that movie, she plays a scientist, an atheist character, and recently at the Academy Awards, Matthew McConaughey won the Academy Award for Best Actor, and he right away thanked God. And that kind of got a lot of talk going in the atheist community. People were like, oh, Matthew McConaughey. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And in that movie, he in the movie Contact, he was also in that movie, and he played a politically active believer, a theist. Mm-hmm. And they had like this kind of like on again, off again love affair, and they actually had like pillow talk conversations about the existence of God. And in the late 90s, before 9/11, before the Four Horsemen, before all these books started coming out, that was it. That was, like for people like us who are like, it's like you watch the movie Contact and it's like, oh hell yeah, they're having like an Occam's razor conversation. Like you didn't see that anywhere in popular culture. And so the movie Contact, and which is based on the book written by Carl Sagan, by the way, is really good. A lot of people didn't like the ending, but I loved it. And Jodie Foster is just such a great actress. I mean, she was in Taxi Driver as a young girl, and she went right up to Silence of the Lambs, which is probably one of the greatest movies ever made.
Oh, I saw that movie.
I hope you have. I mean,
I have seen it.
So I've been a fan of Jodie Foster for quite some time. She's really awesome, and yeah, Jodie Foster.
Yeah.
Ooh, yeah.
Oh yeah. All right, Crystal, your thoughts.
I'm going to echo what Joe said. I am a big Jodie Foster fan too, although I have not seen the movie Contact.
You should. It's good.
I know. I'm planning on seeing that this weekend. I actually have the book here somewhere, so I might do both of them. But you know what? I did not realize that Jodie was a nickname for her. That her real name was Alicia.
I'm not sure. I didn't know that myself either.
I had no idea about that.
Actually, her name is Alicia Christian Foster.
That's ironic.
Is that ironic? Yeah. They said it. Her siblings nicknamed her Jodie. But, like Joe said, I mean, she started off really, she was the Coppertone baby when she wasn't but 3 years old.
Oh, really?
With the dog pulling the diaper down. That was her.
Oh, wow.
And then she had, like, her first show was at age 5, and she was, like, on Mayberry RFD. So she's got such an extensive biography. It was really kind of interesting just to do some research on her and to see these things that she played. She's gone back and forth between actress and or actor as they call themselves, actor and director, and she really finds herself pulled more towards director, but yet she's such a great actress that she's got to go back.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, like almost every movie that I can say that is one of my favorites, she's in it. And I think she's like beautiful. She got married to her wife.
Yep.
Has 2 boys that she's been raising, and I think that's great that she exposes them to different religions, different cultures, and she's got the money to do it and the opportunity, but it sounds like to me they've got very much a family unit, and they kind of do this within their own family, and she exposes them to religion, she exposes them to non-religion, she exposes them to everything, but yet tells them, when you get legal age, you can choose what you want to do.
Right.
And I think that's just awesome for any woman or man, couple, whatever, to do that with their children.
She basically teaches them how to think and not what to think, and that's and a lot of parents they fail at that. They say you have to believe in God. You have to believe in God, otherwise you're out of the house.
Right. Exactly.
And Crystal is an awesome parent like that.
Yep.
Oh, thank you, Joe.
She taught her children how to think, not what to think. Even before she started on the show, so she's only.
And this chick's really smart. I mean, she's got a BA in literature from Yale. Had her little stalker man shoot President Reagan over her, and
yeah, that was weird.
That was terrible, and
Yeah.
I think she still probably has some trauma from that. I know I would.
About that,
Yeah. Well, anyway, Jodie Foster. If you get a chance to check out some of her movies and see what some of the other stuff that she's been in. And by the way, for the next month, we're going to give shout-outs for everybody who posts a positive review on iTunes. Just where we can read in North America anyway. So please put something on iTunes and helps bring up our rankings, and we'll read out what your comments say and what you and who you are and everything like that. So please do that. In the meantime, we will see you next week. Well, we're going to get out of here, and I want to thank everybody for coming. We'll be back next week with our longer show, and if we're lucky, we might even have a guest. Who knows? But until the meantime, we'll see you next week. This has been Packard Pokes At. We just poked at your news.
And that's a wrap.